The NBA sent out a memo to every single team regarding Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard's agent Aaron Goodwin is saying that he didn't tell teams that Dame wouldn't play for them, and a Dame to Miami trade could get vetoed by the NBA. I don't know what's going on anymore. Welcome back to another Dame video. Well, actually, I haven't dropped a whole lot of Dame videos. We've been mainly covering Damian Lillard over on our second channel, Blazers Uprise Live, where we stream Mondays and Thursdays throughout the entire offseason. Even in August, when we usually don't have anything to talk about, we still stream twice a week, and you can still catch us over there. Link in the description, subscribe. We've been covering the Dame saga, and it could play into August. We might have a ton to talk about in August, because it seems like this story doesn't have enough twists and turns as it is, as there is another twist and turn today. Which is kind of ironic because last night, our stream title was, "We will not talk about Damian Lillard tonight." And today, we gotta talk about this because Shams Charania reported that the NBA has sent out a memo to every single team regarding the Damian Lillard situation. And in this video, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what that means. I'm going to talk about the report from Sam Amico that says that people around the league are talking about how a Lillard trade to Miami could get vetoed. I don't understand what is happening. And of course, our Portland Trail Blazers, who have seen their fair share of controversies and confusing situations. I mean, Toradol and the Olshey thing. And, what's another controversial situation that is extremely confusing? We live and breathe for that, I guess, at this point. But before we jump into things, thank you to Manta Sleep Mask. Based on today's reporting, this is probably what Miami Heat fans want to wear right now because it blocks out all light. They don't have to see Twitter because it was bad news for them today. But this is a great product to help you get a good night's sleep and also to help you throughout your day. I'm somebody who meditates a lot. I highly recommend it to everyone as it helps me clear my head. It helps me have more productive days. It helps me fight burnout. It's made a major difference in my life, and it can make a major difference in your life. So I hope you check them out, and I hope you use my promo code UPRISE for a 10% discount. The website is also linked in the description box below. And now, let's jump into things. Shams Charania was the first to report of the memo, but Chris Haynes had the full NBA memo, and it read as such. Quote, recent media reports stated that Damian Lillard's agent Aaron Goodwin called multiple NBA teams to warn them against trading for Lillard because Lillard's only desired trade destination is Miami. Goodwin also made public comments indicating that Lillard would not fully perform the services called for under his player contract if traded to another team. We interviewed Goodwin and Lillard and also spoke with several NBA teams to whom Goodwin spoke to. Goodwin denied stating or indicating to any team that Lillard would refuse to play for them. Goodwin and Lillard affirmed to us that Lillard would fully perform the services called for under his player contract in any trade scenario. The relevant teams provided descriptions of their communications with Goodwin that were mostly, though not entirely, consistent with Goodwin's statements to us. We have advised Goodwin and Lillard that any future comments made privately to teams or publicly suggesting that Lillard will not fully perform the services called for under his player contract in the event of a trade will subject Lillard to discipline by the NBA. We also have advised to the Players Association that any similar comments by players or their agents will be subject to discipline going forward. And this is something under the new CBA, where players are not allowed to publicly demand a trade request, especially to a specific team. And it seems as if Aaron Goodwin has tried to weasel his way around those rumors, suggesting to teams not that Dame wouldn't play, but that he would be quote-unquote unhappy if he ended up anywhere other than Miami. Goodwin has clearly tried to do the best to steer Lillard to Miami via trade, while towing the line of the rules that the NBA sets for situations like this. I also think this is why this trade situation has taken so long. It could be that Cronin has been waiting for the NBA to set its foot down and make a statement like this, which in turn could give them more leverage with other teams across the NBA. It could allow Portland to maximize a trade package elsewhere. The reason why Goodwin would try and steer Damian Lillard to the Heat is because the Heat don't have a package that could trade for Damian Lillard if they're in a bidding war with other teams. While there aren't a lot of suitors out there for a Damian Lillard trade, Miami's package still is not impressive. They can only trade 2 future firsts right now. The Portland Trail Blazers have no interest in Tyler Hero. they don't really have a blue chip young prospect. Sure, there's an intriguing guy such as a Jaime Jaquez or a Nikola Jovic, but those types of prospects don't really move the needle when you're trading for a top 75 player of all time and a dude coming off a season where he averaged a super efficient 32-7. I think the only way the Heat were ever going to trade for Damian Lillard is by having some sort of leverage, and Aaron Goodwin has tried to give Miami that leverage, but he's run into trouble with the NBA in trying to do so. So this could be great news for the Portland Trail Blazers in terms of trying to maximize a trade package for Damian Lillard. We'll definitely have a couple of videos or streams talking about what other trade packages could be, because up to this point we've been operating under the assumption that Miami Heat would end up trading for him because Dame wants to go there, and there really weren't a ton of other suitors out there. But there are other suitors out there, and now this could be a situation where those suitors are a little bit more comfortable giving up a big package in order to bring Damian Lillard into their roster. Something that also could play a factor, apparently, according to Sam Amico. He tweeted, "I keep hearing the NBA would veto any Lillard trade to the Heat. I don't think that's entirely true, but it's what people around the league are telling me they foresee." I don't really believe that either. I don't think the NBA would veto a Lillard trade to the Heat. I don't think they'd have grounds to do such a thing. But if that's possible, then it might really open the floodgates for the Portland Trail Blazers regarding shopping Lillard around the rest of the league. And if Miami isn't a true landing spot for Dame, I really wonder what that turns into. I wonder if he'd still be as keen on demanding a trade to a different location. There's a lot to come in this scenario, and I don't expect a resolution anytime soon. Sam Amico also went on to say one source said the league was wildly upset about comments made by Lillard's agent to media about it being futile for teams other than the Heat to try to make a trade with the Blazers. At this point, Joe Cronin has no excuses. The little bit of leverage that Miami had that was completely manufactured by Aaron Goodwin and Damian Lillard himself seems to be gone now. Or at least gone enough where Miami has to put their best package forward. Now, I'm not going to get into whether the Blazers should trade Dame to Miami, because if they told him that they'd trade him where he wants to go, then they probably should. I'm somebody that would hope that this organization would keep their word regarding a player who's been loyal to the Blazers for over a decade, even though the Blazers have completely failed to build around him. But that's another conversation that we've had before, and we can have it another time. For simply extracting the best possible trade package for Dame, this is a great development, and there will be no excuse for Miami being able to fleece Portland. If that's so, it's one of two scenarios. Joe Cronin just failed to use this to maximize value, or he did indeed tell Damian Lillard that he could be traded to the Heat and decided to keep his word. But if that's true, then what is the holdup, and why did Dame and his agent feel like they had to force a trade to Miami if Joe Cronin was a man of his word and was willing to trade Dame where he wanted to go? Because Dame would have just asked privately, not had all this potential backlash and discipline from the NBA, and then Cronin would have been a man of his word. So I think it's much more likely that Joe Cronin maximizes value, and maybe it is from the Miami Heat, but it could apparently be from another team. And then there's always the scenario of Damian Lillard remaining in Portland next year. Maybe that's a little bit more likely now. I don't know. This situation is such a mess. We are 4 weeks in to Damian Lillard requesting a trade out of Portland, and I don't know if a resolution looks any closer than it did on July 1st. And one final thing before I wrap up this video, I just scrolled Twitter a little bit. Yeah, that was a mistake. People are legitimately giving Joe Cronin props for how he's handled this situation, and it's very confusing. Because there is a legitimate possibility that Cronin told Dame that he would trade Dame where he wants to go, but Dame did not trust his word. But disregarding that possibility, all that's happened is Joe Cronin has pushed Damian Lillard to the point where he's demanded a trade, one of the most loyal stars in sports. And then since then, Joe Cronin has done absolutely nothing. I don't really understand how that's impressive. Joe could literally be in Bora Bora sipping Mai Tais on the beach with no self-service for the past 4 weeks. Like, he hasn't done anything. That's what he's good at. Doing basically nothing. I digress. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this entire situation and the latest developments in it down in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts. Also, thank you to Manta Sleep Mask for sponsoring this video. Take care of yourself and check out that link in the description box below. Promo code Uprise, 10% off. With that being said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you next time. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.